Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It's March 24th.
It
Wow.
is. The time is flying by so fast. We are almost at the end of the month. I also want to say a special good morning to our TikTok fans currently locked in. Good morning to you guys. I know you were getting some story time behind the scenes this morning, but unfortunately I do have to now log off this live. And yeah, another beautiful morning with our viewers on TikTok. We get to have a little bit of the behind the scenes fun with them, catching up before we start our morning officially with you guys. Yeah. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's a little bit nippy. I know we were talking about the fact that it felt like we had a little bit of a cold front for the past few days going into the middle of the week. But we have things to cover, Paul. And we have a wonderful show lined up for you guys this morning, starting off with the celebration of BWS's 25th anniversary. Also, strengthening financial services ties between Belize and Taiwan. Then City Council celebrates Holy Week with the Revival Concert 2026. I saw flyers all over for this, Paul. I am looking forward to this event. And then finally, our friends from Smitty's, they're expanding with refreshing new treats.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait as well. I'm looking forward to it.
The first time I found out about Smitty's was on this morning show. And ever since then, every time I see them, I ensure that I go and I support because their products are just that good.
Absolutely, and it's healthy too.
And
you
it's
know,
healthy.
I love the
That's
backstory of it as well.
Yeah,
always good stuff.
We'll talk about all of
that,
that, right? So you want to stay tuned. But here are some things you need to know this morning. Some of the headlines that we've been talking about and we'll continue to discuss this morning. One, the Minister of Education makes. Well, and the government makes all government-owned high schools free. That's 60% of the high schools in the country. BSCFA rejects $1 million deal and vote to continue court fight. Tracy Panton calls PM out for inappropriate ridicule towards her injury or temporary disability. Episode 2 of Across Borders premieres tonight. I know everybody may excited about episode 1. I saw the comments, I saw the reviews, and so you can look out for episode 2. I know Sabrina is over the roof or through the roof about having you all see episode 2. I didn't get to preview that one.
No,
so
you did
I'll
not.
have to,
you watched
really
episode 1 like 2 times.
All right, don't give out all the secrets. And last but certainly not least, Panton, leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, puts cost of living crisis front and center in her budget debate response yesterday.
All right. Well, I guess we should begin with the overall theme surrounding what was yesterday, which was the budget debate. We know that this came on the heels of the budget presentation from the Prime Minister, the leader of the Brusenu administration. And he essentially put forward a budget that spoke more about prosperity and what Belizeans can expect for this new fiscal year. But in regular fashion, we know that there is a debate that follows where the opposition side, they comb through that presentation with a fine-tooth comb, essentially looking for things that are concerning, things that need to have attention from the general public, and of course, even in some cases, present suggestions, present solutions as well on areas that could be better. We would also hear from members of the administration, the current administration as well, speaking about what they have been doing in their particular ministries. I believe yesterday we heard from Minister Cordell Hyde. He spoke about things from lands taking place. We also heard from the Minister of Education, Minister Francis Fonseca. He also spoke about foreign affairs. I know that those were the two main ones that I heard from yesterday, but I know that the budget debate went on way beyond, 5 o'clock and even news as well. And so that continues, and we will be providing more coverage. But there's a lot that we got out of it. I think there were some sticking points. We know that the opposition leader presented what was, I believe, a 2-hour presentation. Or almost 2 hours, sharing her thoughts from the opposition side on things that she thought worked, but also things that she did not find, pleasing as well. And I know that one of the sticking points that she presented was the fuel situation, and of course the cost of living as well. But then we also heard from the Minister of Education saying that she presented more of a doom and gloom, and even said that it was tired. There was a lot of excitement going on.
He also said it was weak.
Yes.
And uninspiring.
Uninspiring as well. A lot going on, just in a matter of 3 presentations that we were able to see before news time. But as I mentioned, it does continue.
Yeah, I mean, what can you expect from a leader of the opposition that is significantly outnumbered in terms of the balance in the House of Representatives? You're talking 3 to 28 on the other side. And so this budget presentation, or her budget response, is only the second in the Briceño administration's second term, right? And so you would want to, in my view, look at it as a build-up to when it really matters, in my opinion, which is just before the year before the election, right? So that you could hammer in some of the hard cold facts and kind of really tug at people's hearts to persuade them to consider you as a viable candidate and the UDP as a viable option for the next government.
Yeah.
But so yes, her presentation went on for long. She did touch on all the important points.
She did?
Yes, yeah, she did touch on all the important points, things that people would want to hear about, whether it's health, whether it's infrastructure, whether it is, her entire presentation was also pinned under the whole issue with Iran, and the whole issue with fuel prices and how it's going to affect the cost of living. On multiple occasions, she criticized the Briceño administration, saying that they were either ignorant to the fact of this entire global conflict, or they ignored it altogether.
Which they also responded as well.
In putting together this budget. But I realized that for some in the United Democratic Party, and more so one person who was very vocal about their opinions on from within the party, that were vocal about their opinions on her presentation, Alberta August, he came out and he basically said that there's no hope for the UDP with this current makeup, the way how it's currently structured. He voiced a great deal of dissatisfaction he voiced a great deal of dissatisfaction in terms of how he felt about the opposition's response to the Briceño administration's budget. I think he certainly said that he did not like the fact that Ms. Panton praised the administration in certain aspects.
Yes.
Like she praised them for certain assistance that they gave, that the present administration continues to give to her.
Constituency funding, which they also acknowledged.
And several other things. And he was like, well, you say how much Belizeans struggle out here and how hard things right now, and you were up there, they praise this administration for certain things. So that did not sit well with him, and he was saying that he's speaking on behalf of a lot of people, but a lot of people are afraid to say what he has to say. So I don't know if you could consider that a rift within the party, or it is a case of Panton not getting this type of support that she would want within her own party. And so that's some opinions and views on what she had to say, and the budget presentation continues. One of the highlights for me, obviously, something that came out of the Prime Minister's presentation was, and which Minister Fonseca highlighted and punctuated, was the free education aspect.
Yeah.
Right? So all government high schools across the country are now free in terms of tuition, in terms of uniform.
Emphasis on government schools.
Yes, it's government
as well.
schools, it's not private schools. So that's just above 60% of high schools in the country. And listen, how the saying, how you have to give the devil a due.
Yeah.
And
perhaps that's what the opposition leader was doing.
Right,
Yeah.
you know, right. So I could clearly recall going to high school myself and the challenges I had with, and my mom had, because that made a lot of big picnic in the house, challenges with getting uniform, and then not every year you guarantee you'll get a fresh pair of uniform.
I know exactly
so you better
what you
make
mean.
sure that their pants not to tear up and their shirt not get too bilgy. It's not every year you guarantee you'll get one school bag. Whereas one tennis shoe, you better make sure you keep that tennis shoe intact, and if it start lift, well, you better figure out how to buy a crazy glue and put that back together.
Or sew
because the emphasis was on tuition, making sure that we pay that tuition, and sometimes we defaulted. The emphasis was on making sure that we have our notebooks, making sure that we have our textbooks, and it was hard. I was in high school, and as I got into like third form, my brother came in, and so he entered high school, and now it was two of us in high school, and my mother had others in primary school as well, and it was financially challenging. And I think a lot of young people and a lot of families still face that today. And so now for the government to have removed that financial barrier completely, where you could go to high school free of cost. Of course, the school has to accept you, and you have to follow the school's rules, and you have to go through the procedures to register, etc. Because he said, what the minister said was just show up, right? But I don't think it works like that. But for that financial barrier to be removed, I think it's amazing. I think it's a step in the right direction. And in my view, I really hope that it raises or increases the number of enrollment in secondary school, especially among our young boys.
I mean, the minister went as far as saying that no parent should present an excuse as to why their child is not getting, a high school education, because aside from the tuition fees, they also get the opportunity to get their uniforms as well. So even the idea that you mentioned, trying to protect what you have to try to let it last for the next year, not even that certain parents would have to worry about anymore, which is such a blessing. But I want to move things along, Paul, because aside from hearing some inspirational pieces and good news coming out of the budget presentation, there was also some crossfire as well. We saw the opposition leader really hold the Prime Minister to account, where it seemed that he said something that she felt was disrespectful regarding her disability or her sitting. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that on microphone, though. I don't know if you heard it. Were you there at the in the building at the time?
I left.
I know it wasn't heard on camera.
Yeah. So if it wasn't heard on camera, I doubt you would have heard it in the house. And it was in the midst of commotion.
Her presentation.
Right? Because it happened at the moment when I think somebody said something to the effect of, how long more you have to go? or you go on and on, right?
She was talking about grandstanding.
No, yeah. Right. So she made the call out the
Yeah,
Prime Minister.
she was calling him
in that
out.
moment. She was calling him out and said, you had all the answers. When back then you made the talk about gas prices.
Yes.
You had all the answers. You lead the protest, you had all the answers. And now you not got no answers. And of course, that they said the hagway ball first. What you said, the hagway ball first. There's something about how then that the one where feel it the most. And so the other side, the government, they squeal. And
Yeah.
the Prime Minister squealed because, well, you attack me, right?
Yes.
You bring my character into question and my ability to find solutions to this gas issue into question. And so the Prime Minister and it seemed as if some others, they fired back. And the first thing I think they asked her was something to the effect of, how long more you want to take? And she said, well, I have some time for go. So
Yeah.
don't worry about that. I still got a lot more time for go.
Basically, as long as it takes.
Yes, so basically as long as it takes.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So
And
she even went as far as making a post after, but
well, the thing is, during her conversation, she sat down.
Yeah.
During her presentation, I think it was like at the 1 hour mark, she decided to sit down.
Yes.
And so that is what they called out. The fact that they felt like she was taking long, and then she decided to sit down, and now she's sitting down giving the presentation. And so someone, based on what we think she heard, made a remark about her sitting down and her being seated, which you don't normally see during these sort of presentations. But we all know Ms. Panton's condition. This is not first time we've seen her sit down. This is not the first time we've seen her have issues with her foot.
She explained on a post last night that she suffered an injury to her right leg.
Right.
And because of that, I mean, it's temporary. She has to take breaks within long periods of standing.
Right. And so when they called her out to whatever, based on whatever they said, she felt offended by it. And so she ripped.
Yeah.
And she basically said that you're being insulting and you don't take,
You're making fun of her
don't make
disability.
fun of somebody's disability. And she went on to explain what the disability was. It was an injury.
Yeah.
And she kind of classified it as like a temporary disability. Look, I hear what the leader of the opposition is saying. And at the same time, I also think that this is the nature of politics, right? My coach, my football coach, as a child used to have this saying, and I took this saying with me from then up until now. You have to know how to give lick, you have to know how to take lick, and you have to know how to get out a lick way. You know, give lick, take lick, and get out a lick way.
But don't you think that, okay, I wanna understand what you're saying here, because
all I'm saying is that while I understand where the leader of the opposition is coming from, I also think that in dishing it out, in terms of the criticism and in terms of the pressure that criticism applies to the government, in the same way, you have to be able to some degree for technique, and you have to be able for some degree also take that level of criticism as the leader of the opposition.
Yeah, I agree with taking criticism if it's speaking on policy, but I think when you are making light of someone's disability in this case, then I don't think that that's ever acceptable. I think that's below the belt. And so with that one, I have to say I'm on the side of the opposition leader. I don't think that was in good taste, and I'm hoping that we could learn from that. But the thing is, we know that in the House. No, I understand what you're saying.
Like I'm saying, there's more like that to come.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. So what I was going to say is, we know that in the House, for example, when we had Dimbaro in, the things that they would say at each other, take your simple pills.
Yeah, you call somebody simple that amounts to kind of
Tell
like
that to your pa.
pie. You bring your pie into the whole
Oh my
conversation.
God. So
right?
it's hard,
It's
but I think when we're
insults.
talking disability, it gets kind of a little bit too
Touchy.
sensitive and touchy because other people, you know, also have disabilities similar to that and even worse. When you talk about somebody, pa, you talk about take your simple pills. I don't know. We were just talking about Belizean humor, but we do have to close things off.
I just want to
with this
say
one.
finally, as we close things off, Sabrina, remind our viewers that episode 2
Yes, I was gonna get to that.
of Across Borders, sorry,
Yes.
is coming up tonight at 7:30.
Yes.
What can we expect?
You can expect all the fun things, so definitely lock in tonight at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be exciting. I know last week it was more on the reflective and sentimental side. It was my first day in Honduras, and so I really took in the moment and gave thanks for that experience, right? But this week we are going to be experiencing things. I'm going to be facing some of my fears. I'm also going to be trying some things that we are very familiar with back home here in Belize as well. So stay locked in, have some fun with me. I'll take you on some adventures tonight as well.
All right.
All right, Paul, well, we do have to close off this portion of the show and jump into our weather update, our Eye on the News, our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. On the weather, and it calls for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells. Tonight's skies will be partly cloudy. Only light isolated showers can be expected. In terms of temperatures today, coastal areas will experience highs of 85 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to lows of 76. Inland temperatures will rise just a little bit more, highs of 88, and then dropping to lows of 64. In the hills, however, you can expect the chilliest temperatures, highs of 76 degrees Fahrenheit, then dropping to a nippy 59 degrees. In terms of our extended forecasts for inland and coastal areas, on Wednesday and Thursday, you can expect very similar temperatures. Highs of 84 and 83 in inland and coastal areas on Wednesday, highs of 88 and 87, then dropping to lows of 76 and 66 in inland and coastal areas, 76 and 67. Then on Friday and Saturday as well, very similar between each other, 83 and 88 for inland and coastal areas on Friday, 84 and 88 as well. 76 and 68 and 76 and 68 again on Saturday. The sun rose this morning at 5:53 a.m. and it's set to set at 6:04 p.m. The moon rise, will take place at 10:17 a.m. and is set to set at 12:08 a.m. The sea state is choppy with winds blowing from the east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. The tides today's low tide will take place at 7:06 a.m. and then a high tide at 1:20 p.m. However, another low tide will take place at 9:25 p.m. and then tomorrow another high tide at 3:55 a.m. And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service. Paul, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you. It's Sabrina. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have the celebration of BWS 25th anniversary. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, Small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
When the job demands more, Milwaukee Power Tools are designed to handle the toughest jobs on the construction site. If it's speed, durability, and performance you need, Milwaukee is the perfect choice. For unstoppable power at an unbeatable price, make it Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
GBM is turning the spotlight home. All Belizean, all day, every day. We're bringing to you more local and regional programs than ever before. Relive the classics you love. Plus, enjoy brand new stories that celebrates who we are, our people, our pride, our Belize. So whether you're at home, in the office, or on the go, keep GBM on, because now more than ever, Belize is on TV.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
SMART, bringing people together.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Good morning and welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping into our first conversation, and really it's a celebration over here, Paul. We are joined by the team from BWS, the Belize Water Services, and they are celebrating their silver year, their 25th anniversary. We are joined this morning by Hayden Brown. He's the Chief Human Resources Officer. Also with us, Irvin Flores. He's the Resident Consultant Engineer. And also joining us is Karina Montejo, the Corporate Communications Manager. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Good morning.
And happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a huge milestone.
It is.
Now, 25 years is quite a long time. We were just reflecting a little bit on what that 25 years to us in our age range has been like. I know before BWS, people would remember the name WASA. And so this really is a continuation of that legacy, its own identity. And now we are celebrating 25 years of providing this service to the country. Let's begin with a bit of a backstory, Mr. Hayden, of how we got to this point of having BWS here. Perhaps that transition point, maybe I think people would appreciate that transition. You were talking about WASA, how it rolled off the tongue.
Yeah.
How do we get to BWS though?
So on March 23rd, 2001, Cascal, Dutch company out of England, bought out the company at the time. Obviously, there were some financial challenges with the company at that time. And so transitioning to becoming a private company, obviously before that it was governmental owned and Water Board and then WASA. But coming forward under the privatization, definitely there were some tightening up of the belts to align our financial and our outputs. And so immediately, I believe the company started to align objectives, started to move in a more strategic direction. And I believe as a part of that, our strategic plan was to achieve service excellence and operational excellence. And if I may, thinking about service excellence, I think back to the days when I joined. I've served the company for over 24 years.
Wow.
When I joined them, I remember going into BWS and we were reading on the guys who did meter reading, read on paper, pen and paper, basically taking down readings, going yard by yard, and then coming into the office, passing that over to the customer service representatives who then post that onto manual cards. And then bills were done kind of through an Excel spreadsheet kind of thing, and it spit out bills. And so that's how we were back then.
I imagine it's a lot more digitized
now.
now.
We are leaps and bounds now,
Yeah,
where
for sure.
we have a digitized system that can take on a whole lot of like our work orders. Our service people out in the fields are able now, you don't even have to come into the office so that they issue you a service order. Also, we have adopted a GPS system where today, you know, our guys can locate exactly where a meter is. Once upon a time, workers used to have to rely heavily on meter readers because meters were, back in the days, put on a step around the corner of this house. So, you know, you go there looking for a meter, spend a lot of time wasting time, but now we're more efficient. And so, because of the GPS system, guys can go exactly to where a meter is located, etc. So technologically, we have advanced leaps and bounds. We have also created a lot of efficiencies in terms of our services. Also, you know, we do our SMS messages, any breaks, any things, we're putting that information out there so customers are well informed. Their bills, you get your bill now on your, you know, your digital, your phone, your whatever, your emails. And so we have come a long way in terms of that efficiency. Additionally, as a company, we have been associated with the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association. And for the last 3-4 years, we have topped the scale in terms of we have a water tasting competition and we have been able to come out on top. Number one,
like
water.
direct from your
The
From the top. This
From the
is tap water.
Yeah.
This is not bottled water, right? BWS have produced best water for the last 3-4 years.
man.
Number one. And so, you know, I mean, it puts us in a really good place. Also in the Caribbean, I know that one of the big things that they hold us high in terms of standards is non-revenue water.
What's that?
Non-revenue water is that water that we produce. It's ready for sale, but maybe a break in the line, so some of that goes to waste. At the time when I joined, back in the days, our NRW was about 60%, meaning that every 100 gallons, 60 was wasted and not for sale. And so now we're down to about 20%. And so you can see the growth and development in that. And that's a huge saving for the company and a great efficiency achieved. And that's, I mean, across the Caribbean, I don't want to call numbers out, but we are up there. I mean, we're really comparative to even some of the first world countries when it comes to NRW. It's really a great achievement for the company.
And thank you for outlining all of those achievements. I think it really puts this thing into perspective. What about expansion in terms of service across the country? What has this last 25 years brought in terms of expanding your services?
All right, I'll just finish with one other thing, because I believe Irvin will touch on that with the projects, right? That's what the expansion in terms of projects. But as a part of our belonging to the CWWA, we have recently hosted the last conference, which was held in Belize last year.
I remember that.
As a part of that, we were able to, our executive chairman was elected to be chairman-elect, meaning that he will serve at that level on this board. And we also have one of our CFO, Ms. Rashida Williams Castillo. She's also a corporate representative at that high level. So
what does that do for us, having representation on bodies like that?
Well, the big part of that is that we are part of the decision-making people now. I mean, in terms of where that group goes, how it advances, so because there's a lot of collaboration that happens. And so I could recall us doing, like, we have done twinning, meaning we have partnered with other companies outside of Belize in the US, for example, where we gain a lot of experience. But in the Caribbean, we're able to then partner with others and share our experience with them and help them to bring up their levels. So
listen,
it's a great experience.
All of a sudden, I want a cup of tap water. I want to put down this coffee and get a cup of tap
Especially
water.
if they're saying it's you know, one of the best as well. I have to taste it again just to make sure we know what are the quality we got here.
About that, you know, especially down south, but we know I get there. Mr. Irvin, if you could jump in and talk a bit about expansion throughout the years, how you have improved access for Belizeans.
Right, yeah, so BWS has done some significant investments in various projects now, one of them being increased to access to water. So over the past few years alone, we've installed about 70 miles of new water mains. We've added about 7,000 new connections. These are new households that have gotten access to water. And looking forward, you know, the plan is to continue with those expansion projects. So there are a lot of areas. I mean, we focus mostly on the urban and the peri-urban areas, which are, you know, those communities that are closer to the municipalities that we serve. We don't necessarily serve the rural communities that falls under a different mandate under the Ministry of Rural Transformation. But under the areas that we serve, there is continuous expansion that continuously happens. No? In addition to that, just to piggyback a bit on what Mr. Brown was speaking about NRW and operational efficiencies, those are other areas of investments that we've also tapped into. No? When it comes to being that leader in the Caribbean, like what Mr. Brown said, there were a lot of investments that had to be made, innovations, automations, investing in technology really to try to get to that point. And all of that comes through investing in projects, a lot of different projects when it comes to metering, when it comes to improving treatment processes, things like that. No? So yeah, also We've done a lot of investments in environmental stewardship in wastewater services. A lot of people tend to forget that BWS also offers wastewater services in key areas.
What's that?
Wastewater. So wastewater is basically all the water sewage, what people would normally refer to as sewage, no?
How,
so
what
whenever
sort of service you offer there?
Right. So what we do is that we collect wastewater and we treat wastewater before it's released back into the environment. No? So basically we serve the Belize City, San Pedro, and Belmopan areas with wastewater services, and the plan is to expand those service areas to other municipalities. What we're focusing now is mostly the tourism-driven areas like Kikaker, for instance, Placencia, where
coastal areas.
Coastal areas, exactly. Those are the areas that tend to be a little bit more vulnerable when it comes to the environment. No?
You know, being the primary utility company, the only utility company for water, what drives you guys to continuously improve on your product and to add more services and to not take advantage of customers as well? It's not like we necessarily have an option.
Right, exactly, yeah. So what a lot of people forget is that we're regulated. I mean, we're regulated by the Public Utilities Commission, so there's no way that we are able to take advantage of customers and things like that. So for instance, the regulator, I mean, we have a very good regulator that ensures that the customer's best interest is at heart, no? So for instance, we are forced in a way to improve operational efficiencies to ensure that tariffs are maintained as low as possible for the interest of our consumers.
That's PUC.
Yes.
That's the PUC.
Yeah, now, without getting too technical, a simple question. Where do we get our tap water from, and why is it safe?
Yeah, so depending on the region where you are in the country, there are three main sources of water. We get in the Belize district, the Belmopan and the Angrega municipalities, we get our water from the river, what we call surface water. So
like the Belize River?
Like the Belize River, exactly. So what we do, we extract the water from the river, and then that gets pumped through a water treatment plant. So it goes through several processes, mostly filtration processes, for it to become potable water. What makes it high quality is the series of processes that it goes to, and at the end there's a disinfection process that kills microbes, pathogens, things like that, and that ultimately makes it potable. In other areas, for example in the north and in the south, we utilize a lot of groundwater sources, so basically wells. No? So we pump up water from the wells. It goes through minor treatment, because most of the water from the groundwater sources are of high quality. You know, so it only needs a little bit more treatment for it to then become potable. And then out in the Keys, we have desalination plants. So basically these are reverse osmosis plants that take water, seawater, puts it through a reverse osmosis process, removes the salt and other impurities from that water and turns it into potable water in the end.
So what I'm hearing is you all have had to adapt to the different geographical locations across
and the water source that is there. Yes.
Right, and the water source that is there.
Yeah.
You go out to the islands, you can't get
fresh water,
right? So you have to adapt in that sense.
Yes,
that's excellent.
So the adaptation comes from the treatment, no? So whatever the water quality is, the raw water quality is in that area, we target that for treatment.
In terms of along the same line of the conversation that we are at right now, have you guys observed the quality of perhaps our water that you are extracting from? Has that always been the same? Has it decreased, gotten better in terms of perhaps the river or the sea?
Or the wells.
Yeah. Do you do studies on where the water is coming from as well, and the quality of that water?
Yes. So for the most part, yes. So what we have a separate water and wastewater quality compliance unit that deals with testing water and wastewater, ensuring that it's within the parameters that it needs to be for it to be, in the case of water, potable, and in the case of wastewater, safe for it to be discharged back into the environment. So there is a unit dedicated just to that. In terms of what we're doing in regards to studies and other investments, that is something that we're continuously doing as projects. So one of the key pillars that we're looking at now is securing water redundancies. One of the things that we found out is that these wells eventually they run dry. So what we have to do is continuously be drilling wells. What we're doing is at the moment we're writing a concept note for us to be able to carry out an aquifer study, basically so that we can understand the groundwater source a little bit more in terms of quality, in terms of yield. All of that also in line with what you're saying, ensuring that the water source is secured for generations to come.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown, how has your feedback or complaint mechanism also improved over the years? You're serving customers, and at the end of the day, customers might want to have an input by way of a comment or a remark or a feedback or even in some cases criticism. How has that mechanism improved, not only through the mode of doing it, but the way in which you all receive and handle criticism?
As it relates to complaints and information feedback, we have always been open. We have had many ways in which we have had like the drop box in the office where customers can come in and put their complaints. We have also had at different varying points we have done surveys, just getting feedback, direct feedback from customers. Additionally, when we're going into new areas, it's one of the things that we do, like we go door to door, like we have customer reps that go door to door, just having that dialogue with customers initially to establish our presence and also informing them about our services and what they are to expect in terms of our services. We have had, in terms of feedback, currently we have also established a unit, a call center unit that you can call in 24 hours. And we have established a really good thing with that 24 hours because in the past we never had that, and now customers, we get calls, a break, somebody is driving past, they see something broken,
so
they
they
call
report
us,
it.
and our guys are out there in a minute.
That's good.
We have continuity of service. We have 99.9% continuity of service. That means that your service, when you do that, water turns. We could recall, especially in Belize City, when we used to do this and drip or no water at all. I remember we used to have this guy, I think it was on Love FM or something, with water pressure above the head and that kind of thing. But that was a result of not having water, and then now having, not only having it, but having it at high pressures, right? So we have, like I said, man, we have come a long way, and these are all improvements that has enhances our growth and development.
Well, I want to get Miss Karina in the conversation and talk about what celebrating 25 years will look like for this year, coming from BWS. How are you guys planning to commemorate that?
Yes, so we're actually celebrating under the theme A Legacy of Service, Excellence Today, Innovating for the Future, 25 years of progress. And basically that is a reflection of where BWS was, what we're doing today to innovate, and also looking onto the future. We have also developed a special logo for this event to celebrate the 25th anniversary, and in that design you can see that water is central to assist us with our mandate, which is providing water.
And I believe we brought a special display of that logo this morning. Can we go to that? Beautiful.
That's what's over here.
Yes, so that is basically it. And then the 25 to remind us of our journey. And of course we had to incorporate the original BWS emblem to remind us of all the hardworking people that are behind that BWS team.
I want to highlight that really quickly because there are several instances. I would be driving from work 8 o'clock at night, and I would see men at work, whether it's fixing a pipe around the roundabout or all the way in Ladyville, just men, just people in general who have dedicated their lives to this job. I'll tell you, there's a man from Boral Boom. I won't call his name, but I know that he has been at BWS for decades, and he has given his life to this company as well. It's almost kind of like a part of his identity. Talk about that. The people who have devoted their lives to this job, who, in many cases, just kind of like what you think of BEL, it's a part of who they are, you know, providing the service, it's a part of their identity. And, you know, human resources is so important as well. Can we get your comment on that?
Right, so as you've mentioned, they have employees that have dedicated a very large amount of their lives to the company, and we are so thankful for them, and for this celebration they will be highlighted as well. We have, yes, of course, all those who have been celebrating 25 years and more, we have a special surprise for them. I can't mention it here.
Well, I want to highlight, I want to big up this person, since I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mr. Barrington Vernon. I mean, my goodness, all my life I've known him. I'm pretty sure we're related, but all my life I've seen this man on a truck, on one of those big trucks, and I feel like he always wear a BWS shirt, even per weekend. Like, I'm telling you, holiday, I don't see he ever out of uniform. Like, he's associated with his job. It's a part of his identity. So people like that, Mr. Brown, what comes to your mind? You're a part of human resource.
Well, I mean, like Karina mentioned, we wouldn't be anywhere without our employees, honestly. The dedication of our employees, we have always, at every forum, every opportunity we get, we big up our employees, because they are a key part of where we have come from and where we're going into the future. Despite we have talked about technology and advancement that we have made there, I mean, our employees stand tall among the achievements we have made. We would not have been able to do that without them. And so people like Barry, we have had, we just look cognizant at the time, but we have looked at people like Barry and many others who have served over 40 years plus with the company. And all them guys are before my time, and you know, they're like straight out of high school going to BWS, and then
it's like you struggle with people with work ethic like that, though, and you find that a lot of times they work in utility companies like this, you know, people that make their jobs a part of them. And I'm sure there are several other persons who have that same type of drive, you know. I imagine even beyond retirement, they're going to still want to contribute in some way or another. But it's amazing. How do you ensure that you continue along that legacy? I don't know that you'll find any regular person willing to give their life to their job in that way.
And it's one of the things that we have found, that most persons that come to water, we call them lifers. Over time you get, I mean, before I came to BWS, ignorant of the fact, I never had that appreciation I have today, having been a part of it. And sometimes my family have to tell me, you know, hey, take it easy.
What is it about it that makes you want to do that, though? Makes you want to give yourself to it?
It's an appreciation, one, for the product that we provide. I mean, this is life, you know, water is life. We know how important water is to our existence, and so that's one of my drive. And I mean, long after I leave BWS, I sure I'll be one of those persons, hey, leak, you know, it has become a part of me. It's not going to leave me. And so, you know, and we have that, man. We have a lot of our guys who have left, and they call us, you know, they're part of the team who looks out for us and make sure that we stay on top of things. And so, lifers are very important to BWS and how we have grown and expanded our development through the years.
So, Ms. Karina, we're having celebration events.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes, so we have planned an entire week of events which have already commenced. Later on today at the headquarter offices, we will be having a wellness fair. You know, we believe in healthy customers and healthy communities, so we want to invite all our customers to come on down to our headquarter office here in Belize City to do your different checkups. Tomorrow we're having a exhibition where we'll have all our departments on display to speak on the different work that they do and how it is that we come as a collective to provide this wonderful service that we're talking about. To make it even more interesting, at this exhibition, we have invited small business vendors, so they will be there as well, showcasing their products. As well, very important to highlight, on Wednesday, BWS will be signing a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Education, and this is in order to adopt a room at the Stella Maris School. So BWS will be assisting in the designing and equipping that room for special need students. So we moved to Orange Walk on Thursday to inaugurate 2 key projects that have been completed, which is a 50,000 gallon tank, storage tank at Arthur Street, as well as a production facility at the Pettville community. So those are 2 key facilities that will be highlighted on Thursday.
And then I saw we have a giveaway.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention.
Yeah, it's on screen.
You can't forget to mention free thing, you know. So if anything.
Every day throughout the week. So we started yesterday. We had our first 5 giveaways, and throughout the week from today up until Friday, we will be doing a giveaway on our Facebook. So we'll go live every day at 3 p.m. to give away 5 fantastic prizes every day. We have a grand prize, which is 25 months of water. Yes, so
25 months?
Yeah,
25 months of water, so customers will
wash every day.
no,
wash car every day.
So there is some rules to the price. Customers will have a $60 deduction from their water bill. So that is actually that actually equals to $1,500. It's in value. And per month, it's about 4,500 gallons of water. Wow, so when you break it down like that, it's a lot of water, right? So, and we are champions for conserving water. So don't think that BWS only thinks about charging and bills. And no, we want to conserve water as much as possible. No, it's a very important element. So we want our customers to also be aware of that.
All right. Well, as we wind down the conversation, I want to just get a quick comment on what 25 years, a 25-year legacy means to you.
Well, I mean, we have seen I could say the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like any good family, I mean, we have been through it all. We have had good times. We have challenges where sometimes I could remember my earlier years, we had this customer right here in city. It became a big talk thing on a number of the radio stations. There was this one customer who lives kind of smack in the city and didn't have water. And so when they looked at the investment to get the customer water, it was going to run somewhere around $10,000 just to get that one household water. And it wasn't a case where you would have more people living there. Where that person the home was established, one, there was a challenge because there was no street going to that residence. And what that poses, or that challenge possesses for the company, is that you have to be running pipe through people's yard. And that's not a good thing to be, because then down the road, say, who authorized you if you can't dig up my yard kind of thing. Right. So we don't do yard to yard. That's one of our policies that we no longer do. But any which way, the person got the connection, $10,000 down the road, their bill is flat rate, $9, $10. When do you recover that cost?
Could never.
And then the pipe breaks, you need to repair it. There's an additional cost. So sometimes these things, people see it, they build their homes, and it's 100 yards down the street from where main is, and they'll say BWS is inconsiderate. Why haven't they come and connected us? It's not about being inconsiderate. We're in business. And things has to make business sense. And so we have grown and we have learned, and we have tried our best to communicate with our customers. At best, you know, you guys are who pays our bills and have a company where it is today. And we value our customers. We value them to the nth degree. I mean, they're what makes us turn.
Excellent.
And I end on that note.
All right, well, congratulations, and thank you all so much for joining us this morning.
All right.
With that, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, it's all about strengthening financial services ties between Belize and Taiwan. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Tracy Panton's budget rebuttal was mostly uneventful and can be summed up as a rare acknowledgement of the truth. First, the acknowledgement that increase in fuel prices is not the government's fault.
Rising tensions in the Middle East and the ongoing war in Iran have caused volatility in global oil markets.
And then the acknowledgement that the government is providing resources in all constituencies to assist struggling families with essential needs like food, education, and health care.
We do acknowledge that when specifically requested, Albert residents have been recipients of life-saving oncology services, dialysis treatment, and emergency procedures through the Patient Care Assistance Program available by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Albert students in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions have received tuition grants from the Ministry of Education. We also administer a monthly grocery bag assistance program provided via the Office of the Prime Minister, totaling $5,000, which provides food vouchers valued at $50 each to 100 Albert families every month.
Maximum respect to the opposition leader for telling the truth and acknowledging the government's compassion for the people of Belize.
On behalf of the beneficiaries of these programs, we take the opportunity to express our gratitude to the Prime Minister and his executive for the support afforded to our constituents.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids, and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about a bilateral relationship between Belize and Taiwan in terms of strengthening financial services. And we have joining us on set the CEO of Finance Belize, none other than Mr. Hiro Balani.
Good morning.
As well as joining us via Zoom, the Ambassador of Belize to the Republic of China, Taiwan, Her Excellency Catherine.
Good morning.
Good morning, good evening.
Good morning, good evening. Yes, she's zooming in from Taiwan.
And it's currently 9:30.
Yes, and so it's after 9 there, so we want to thank her for joining us. Mr. Balani, perhaps we could begin with you. You could lay the foundation in terms of this partnership and the objectives set out.
Sure. Well, thanks again, Paul, and thanks for having us this morning. So first, I guess I could start off by introducing Finance Belize.
Yes.
So like you said, recently came on as a CEO last year, but Finance Belize is a new state-owned subsidiary that was formed in 2023. We have an act of parliament that recognizes us in 2024. And essentially what Finance Belize is an agency that is going to support the promotion and development of financial services in Belize. So it's a sector that, as you know, has gone through quite a bit of reform. We, at one point, were well known for financial services, but after we had to update quite a bit of our regulations, and now we are one of the most globally compliant jurisdictions. I think you may recall last year, based on our 2025 mutual evaluation report by the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. And so CFATF, exactly, CFATF. And so, you know, Belize is actually setting the global standard. And so we need to leverage that now and to showcase our 8 priority sectors and to highlight this for the world globally so that we can attract more investments in financial services. How
does that tie in with bilateral relations between countries? Taiwan, for example, seeing Ms. Ambassador Kathy on the line, we know that Taiwan's relationship with us is very important.
Exactly. So Ambassador could share a bit more of that, but you know what was interesting is we started a conversation and partnership and said, you know, we have over 35 years of diplomatic relationships with Taiwan, and so why not, you know, have a mission there to share a bit more of what the opportunities are in financial services. So actually we had a very productive week, a very full week, I would say. We were there from March 9th to 13th, but I guess Ambassador could share a bit more if you'd like on that. Yeah.
Well, Ambassador, let's get you in on the line. We're talking the importance of bilateral relations and of course the role of Finance Belize in this relationship as well.
So I think to start, it's very important to keep in mind that the relationship between the financial services and Taiwan is as old as our diplomatic relations. I think that's important to keep in mind. And our diplomatic relations with Taiwan, as you may remember, is 36 years. And what that really means is that, you know, Taiwan is an important client base for our international financial services. And it has remained, again, a very consistent client base as well. So as I'm sure Hiro will tell you a little bit more about, it was a matter of working and servicing and taking care of those current clients and being there to hear what, you know, where their customer relations are and what their needs are, and also to expand upon the community. We recognize from a global perspective that, you know, the world in Asia continues to grow, continues to expand, continues to be a viable option for financial services, for products, et cetera, et cetera. And thus, I think it was an ideal time, or don't think, I know it is an ideal time for Finance Belize to come, and it was an incredibly successful activity to support the trade and investment objectives that we have here, not necessarily only in products, but also in services. From a general perspective, just logic alone tells you the world of services and trade and investments is an easier gain and a quicker gain versus products, right? Products remains a priority, but obviously you're talking the internet, you're talking movement of people, you're talking virtual meetings, you're talking transactions that can take place overnight or in seconds. So the distance doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, so it's more efficient.
Yeah,
but you know,
I just wanted, Sabrina, before we, my apologies, but before we move any further, I wanted to just take a step back quickly and establish, Mr. Hero, what is financial services?
Sure.
Where we are as a country and where are we headed?
Sure. Well, financial services is a very broad spectrum of opportunities. I think I did share a graphic of our 8 priority sectors that Finance Belize promotes, and so maybe I could walk you through that. But actually, yes, perfect. So yeah, I mean, you know, it spans everywhere, Paul, from international banking, I guess, would be one of the basic ones. You think about Belize, at one point we had about 5 or 6 international banks, but now we have 3. And so those are key. You have Belize and you have Heritage, right? And so what we need to do is to ensure that globally persons know you can access banking services in Belize, open multi-currency accounts. Maybe that's one of the basic ones I'll start with. But the other ones you'll see, I mean, from wealth management, Belize, you can establish a trust in Belize, a foundation. Our legislation allows for that. The securities and capital market, I'm sure you have heard from the Financial Services Commission, and you know, when you think about the opportunities the securities legislation has provided, it's tremendous. You can now raise capital, like when you think about Hydro Belize, the recent case, that leveraged the securities legislation. You think about the municipalities, they're raising funding from the bonds, exactly. Company formation, we can let the world know, and that was a part of why we were in Taiwan. 2 of our largest registered agents are in Taiwan, and they have been registering companies in Belize. So you think about how our diplomatic relations span beyond diplomacy, but also business, right? And then we have the Maritime Registry, which is Imarbe, which Belize is a flag state. So a part of our promotional efforts is we have about 900 plus ships that currently carry a Belize flag globally, and so we're trying to increase that or look at, but the key is to look for quality ships. We just don't want any ship to carry a Belize flag, but ones that meet the standards and quality ones, right? And then the last area is corporate financial services. Again, that looks at insolvency, fiduciary services, but you think the BPO sector, think about the call centers, right? How can we go above the current customer service and sales that we're doing, and to broaden that into more financial services outsourcing, right? And then lastly, insurance, and we also have fintech and digital assets. Now, this is the new area, I would say the buzzword, but let's be clear, we're starting in a phased approach. It's not that you're going to see a Bitcoin ATM down the street tomorrow.
People get excited about that.
So let's not, but what Belize is doing is taking a phased approach to its Digital Assets Act. So we should see a legislation in Belize very soon on digital assets that will allow for the registration of digital assets as securities, but also digital asset service providers to register in Belize as well.
You know, Hero, I have to say I have a newfound appreciation for finance talk, even.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, because and I have to say,
in a lot of ways.
I know, but I have to say, even based on what was mentioned earlier by Ambassador Catherine, for the longest time, I've kind of just associated diplomatic or bilateral relations as just kind of like that friendly relationship that takes place. I share what my resources are, what I'm good at with your people, and you do the same for me. But understanding even more that this is business, even. And there's opportunity to have investment in both these countries as well. Really gives you a fresh perspective on how we can grow our economy even. And so having entities like the Finance Belize or Finance Belize on board. It's so important for check and balances. As we dive a little bit deeper into this conversation, who should be listening? Who should be asking questions right now? Are we hoping for businesses, whether it's potential investors from Taiwan or even outside of Taiwan, looking in and saying, okay, what do I need to do if I want to plant my roots here in this country business-wide? What should I ask?
Right. So I think, we held a very a successful financial services seminar. And like you said, the idea was to meet with the Taiwanese private sector and to share with them these opportunities across the financial services areas in Belize that I highlighted. But beyond that, who should be listening, like you said, is not only persons that are interested to access these financial services or investment opportunities, but also the Belizean diaspora or others that may know someone that's interested in these areas. I think ultimately a big part of it is awareness building, and that was a big objective of the mission. And so
you opened my mind just now.
So Ambassador, what is the private sector and the business community in Taiwan saying following this productive seminar?
Sabrina, I think you hit the nail on the head when you referenced. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we're here.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I really think you hit the nail on the head in saying that when we look at a diplomatic connection, there is an angle when we think about ease of doing business, right? And these aspects of investor security and investor decisions to choose Belize. We need to think about the fact that this is an incredibly competitive world. And having those diplomatic ties that connect to economics, and in my opinion, it's incredibly relevant how connected economics, diplomacy, geography, all of these things are. And so we can't forget that, right? Just like how we talk about this world being so much connected, these aspects of developing business is significant. And I'm sure Hero will tell you, off the camera and on the camera, that it was incredibly, they got to see what I've been seeing here now from day one. And what that really means is there is so much interest from the Taiwanese business community in Belize. Right? Specifically, we spoke about services connected to financing, but overall, there were so many questions, and we kind of laughed and in a casual, Belizean style positive way, we spoke about the fact that Hero having that background from Beltrade connected to the fact that we were able to answer questions, and they are interested in understanding the financial angles of how they can work within those spectrums as reference, right? Whether it's registering a business from an international perspective, but also registering a business in Belize. There is lots of interest, and we were able to meet only a small group of about 35 individuals, small relative to the overall interest, right? Small group of 35 individuals, and that are very interested in finding ways in which they can connect with Belize, right? And the financial aspect is just one aspect of that, right? They're looking at investment opportunities in many different areas, in smart tourism, smart agriculture, light manufacturing, infrastructure. There's a number, many different, even the commodities, angles of how, and even the sustainable angles as well, right? How they can play a role. What we identify here is that Taiwan is at a stage where the maturing industries here are what we are looking for in Belize. And think like manufacturing, right? Think words like, or think things that we talk about quite a bit in private sector business development, like packaging, right? I think that's a word that really connects. And the opportunities and the knowledge and the communication that we were able to share with them through the Finance Belize delegation is a critical part and one of the focus areas, but we see that interconnected to business development in many different areas. And as a business, you look for diversity, you look for safe environments and safe economies in which to work. And I can tell you that Belize is one of them that's really being looked at Taiwan. So it's such an exciting time.
All right. Well, we have a lot to jump into, unfortunately, with no more time left. But this has been such a rich conversation in terms of just opportunities that exist. I'm hoping that whoever was tuning in, some type of interest is sparked, and they now know that they can reach out to ask further questions. And so, how do we reach out to you guys, and what do we ask for?
Sure, definitely. Again, that's the whole reason Finance Belize was created, is to connect persons that are interested with the industry. And like, I want to echo the sentiment from Ambassador that any investment is tied to financial services. You need to you look at a company registered, a bank account, etc. Right? So if persons have an interest to learn more, or you have questions about any of the areas we raised, you can reach us on our website, financebelize.bz, or info@financebelize.bz as well. So you can contact me or our office, and we'll definitely be able to share more information.
All right. Also, Ambassador Catherine, it has been such a pleasure having you here with us online. I know that it is almost 10 p.m. your time, but we want to say a huge thank you for taking the time and speaking with us, our viewers by extension. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Thank you for this opportunity. It's great to be able to catch up with Belizeans virtually. And there's just so much potential and opportunity here. So we are grateful and appreciative of, the delegation from Finance Belize. They made inroads. There is still a lot of homework and background work that we continue to do to foster those developments and see them through. And I encourage people to reach out to Finance Belize, learn more, and understand the connections. They've done so much as a group to be able to create an environment and a service offer that's valuable, credible, and open for business. I think that's incredibly important. So thank you for the time again.
No problem. Excellent. Thank you very much as well. At this time, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, the City Council will be in-house as they celebrate Holy Week with Revival Concert 2026.
Tracy Panton's budget rebuttal was mostly uneventful and can be summed up as a rare acknowledgement of the truth. First, the acknowledgement that increase in fuel prices is not the government's fault.
Rising tensions in the Middle East and the ongoing war in Iran have caused volatility in global oil markets.
And then the acknowledgement that the government is providing resources in all constituencies to assist struggling families with essential needs like food, education, and health care.
We do acknowledge that when specifically requested, Albert residents have been recipients of life-saving oncology services, dialysis treatment, and emergency procedures through the Patient Care Assistance Program available by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Albert students in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions have received tuition grants from the Ministry of Education. We also administer a monthly grocery bag assistance program provided via the Office of the Prime Minister, totaling $5,000, which provides food vouchers valued at $50 each to 100 Albert families every month.
Maximum respect to the opposition leader for telling the truth and acknowledging the government's compassion for the people of Belize.
On behalf of the beneficiaries of these programs, we take the opportunity to express our gratitude to the Prime Minister and his executive for the support afforded to our constituents.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, Tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
Welcome back. This is our third conversation, and it's one we are all definitely looking forward to in terms of the celebration that is set to take place this Holy Week. And of course, it's an event highly anticipated and organized and hosted by the Belize City Council. Joining us is our friends from the Belize City Council. We have here with us, no stranger to you guys, Michelle Smith. She's the communications manager. And also with us is marketing manager Imani Jex. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back, and we're happy to see you.
Good morning. Yes, thanks for having us.
This is a big deal, guys.
Yes, it is. And just before we get into the discussion, we
You came
want
with goodies.
to present you guys with a Holy Week.
Oh,
watch
oh, that looks like my size. Finally, somebody gets it right.
I got you yesterday.
Oh, finally. The
Thank you, guys.
for me.
Oh my gosh.
You guys there?
We hope to be there as well. Now, we've been
Oh my
teasing
gosh,
it.
I love
I love
this.
it too.
Reflect, revive, and renew. That's the team.
Yes,
Tell
it
us,
is.
Miss Michelle.
Yes, it is.
Tell us about this team and this event.
Well, of course, whenever you see us, we are always here to talk about positive, impactful, inclusive event, of course, hosted by the Belize City Council. And today we're here to talk about the Holy Week Revival
Highly
Concert.
anticipated.
Yes, which takes place next week, Tuesday, March 31st, and Wednesday, April 1st. So
Yes.
it's a 2-day Holy Week concert at the DigiPark.
Was it always 2 days before?
No. Yes,
It wasn't.
It was?
Yes, yes.
Oh, it was?
Yes, it was.
You know, okay, so
It
in
was
my mind, I
April
feel like
4th and 5th in 2023 when we had the first one.
No, you're right.
Okay, but it was a big concert as well,
It
right?
was a big concert.
And it was for 2 days.
2 days.
Shucks, I don't even
So
remember
what?
that.
Okay, so give us if you all can, the structure of it, what will the 2 days include?
Yeah, so for day one, we have our award-winning international group that will be the headline, which is Christafari. And what's amazing about that is that they will already be in Belize on their countrywide tour. So they'll be at different districts. So they will be coming here in Belize City. So if you did not see them in the different districts or you want to see them again, definitely come out for March 31st. And then we also have a lineup of our other local church groups that will be there out there as well.
So that's the first night.
That's the first
so
night.
you have a big artist the first night.
Yes, we do. And then for day two, the return of Sanat, she will be coming back to Belize City. Yes, popular demand.
Yes.
And again, this was back in 2023, and the feedback that we got was spectacular, very overwhelming. And again, back in 2023, that was during COVID, especially Hurricane Lisa.
We just experienced that. So we were in this dark places, dark time.
Trying to recover.
Yes, and we needed something to uplift the city, to refocus back on the city. And so this event is the vision of the mayor, the deputy mayor, and the councillors. And so we must say that when we had it in 2023, we had this young man, an attendee, who, when he saw Sinach, he said on the tip of his lung, "This is why I became a Christian."
Wow.
And with him saying that this event is not just only for people who are Christians. You know, even if you're not a Christian, we invite you to come out, no matter what denomination you are, come out and experience live music through, through worship, a positive impact for our people, for Belize.
You know, we just saw on screen just moments ago the crowd, the massive crowd that this event brought out in 2023. Earlier, we were also talking about the fact that this was the first of its kind that we were organizing, or we saw the organization of a Christian event. Adding to that, a free Christian event, right? So a massive concert, international artists, and Belizeans, a sea of people just came out, and I think where people would otherwise think that there's not so many people that would support this type of event, it really showed the opposite. And I think even after that, we were also talking about the fact that there has been so many other Christian events that have showed up, and people came out to support it as well. So I think you guys really set the stage and showed us all that there are people who want this type of event, this type of activity, and to bring them back again, which I know is no easy feat. It also costs money, I imagine, because these are artists and this is business. They come into the country where they would otherwise perform with a cost. You guys are providing this to the public for free.
Yes, and I must say on behalf of the mayor, we want to give gratitude this year to our supporting businesses. We have so many businesses that wanted this mission for the city, and we really applaud them for the notable contribution that they gave us. And I just want to use my phone to mention them because it's a lot, and I really don't want to miss anyone out.
One of the businesses who have been supporting the event, we know that it costs, as I mentioned, to pull this off.
And so we have, our sponsors are Fort George Hotel, the Office of the Prime Minister, Niche, BTB, Belize, Atlantic Bank, Ocean Palm, Belize Bank, ICB, Belize Water Service, Golden Bay, RC Construction, Monarch Construction, Digi, Belize Waste Control.
What about within the event, like things like food, booths for, non-alcoholic.
Yes, of course,
right?
No
what are we looking at in terms of the other setups?
When it comes to food, we have the vendors that are in the Digi Park. And for this year, we have extended a vendor call to vendors who want to come out and sell food, but of course they will be on the street selling food. And I must say, we have limited space available for vendors.
Available.
So we posted our vendor link yesterday, and we asked the vendor to please sign up, because once we reach the number that we're aiming for, we will close the link.
Right, and it's all on our Facebook page, as well as our t-shirt sales. So you could go on our Facebook page and purchase your t-shirts.
Yeah, we buy me.
Yeah, you could definitely purchase your merch as well on
What's
our
the cost
Facebook
of
page.
t-shirts?
Yeah, so from small to extra large, it's $20, and then from
2XL to 3XL,
it's $25.
I have a $10 shirt. Yeah, but this is truly exciting. I know that the last event also saw people come from across the country.
Yes, we want to invite all district, all villages, come out and enjoy the 2-day concert. For Belize City, we will have free bus route leading you to the Digipark from 3 different areas.
They did that the last time too.
Yes.
So what are the routes?
Well, we will have
establishing
one from, we're establishing, and we'll post it, but the 3 routes, we have one leaving from the Martins area, one from Belama, and one from Port Loyola. And of course, we will label these buses so we don't have any confusion, because like I said, the trip will be free to the Digipark.
Can you jump on the bus and you want to go to a club, and next thing you end up that church event? They say, but wait, I may think this is the bus to the club. No, this is the bus to the church event.
That is the type of party when they never know they need.
I know,
Exactly.
It's a holy party.
And the area will be locked off, of course, for these 2 nights.
The street in front of the Park Newtown Barracks, which is from ex-servicemen to Isha, that will be closed from 1 o'clock. We have to give vendors time to set up. And so once that is closed 1 o'clock, traffic won't be able to be parked or traverse that area. And come 5 o'clock, we will close a little bit down from Kaya Elmar to where Princess Margaret Drive meet with Bayman Avenue. And of course, it won't reopen until the concert is finished. It finishes at 9, but to give vendors time to take down, we're saying like 10 o'clock. And I must say, we must extend thanks to our traffic enforcement officers and the police department, who will be out there to ensure that this space is a safe space for everyone.
Yeah. All right, Sab, just to put you on the spot a
Let's
bit.
go.
You remember anyone that's in that songs? You could tell me one line to any one of the songs. I know you have a jog memory. Okay, you could. All right, which one?
One thing. Okay, I hope I have it correct. All right, when Jesus say yes, nobody can say no.
No, that no.
That was in that song? Wait.
There's a very popular one.
Stop.
Very
Because I
popular.
remember. I know there is. I thought it was that one. Okay.
No.
Give me one word and I'll tell you that one.
Way.
No matter better word. Okay. Waymaker.
Spiritual.
Promise keeper. My God. All right. Good.
You have it.
The thing is, I don't know a good lyrical remember. That a problem right there.
You just won yourself
But I'm
a
a
ticket.
melody remember. I want a
free ticket.
A free ticket to the free event that you guys can all attend without
I
a
just
ticket.
want to add that this event starts at 6 and finishes at 9. And I can remember in 2023,
It never was done.
people were coming to the park from 3 o'clock to secure their space.
Okay.
People brought out their chairs and everything. And to add, when we say inclusivity, we have a special area designated for our elderly or people with diverse.
disability.
Yes, so they can sit down. It will be barricaded. Sit down so they can enjoy this concert.
This is fantastic, guys. I mean, I have to say, real big ups to you guys, you know, putting this initiative out there in 2023. Again, I go back to the trend that we saw after what you guys started. And to see that you remain consistent. You listened to the people when they said that they wanted it again, and now you're doing it again. Give us once more a lineup of what will take place on the 2 days. I know you said that there will be some Belizean artists as well. Can we get an idea of who all will be performing?
Sure, of course. Well, for day 1, I hate saying day one, day two,
Yeah.
because we want people to attend both days.
And I
We
think
don't
they
want
will,
them to
know,
take
there's
this-
something for everybody. I
Yeah,
think it's free
exactly.
with wine.
And so
Also
for
have, like diversity as well.
Exactly.
So Central Vision Missionero. I can never say that in Spanish.
Central Vision Missionero.
Missionero.
Okay.
They'll be doing their gospel songs in Spanish.
And
that's
then
nice.
day
Yeah,
one.
And
then we
also
have the Wagabari dance group who
That's
will
day
be
two.
leading the Our Father in Garifuna.
Oh, that's nice. I
And
love that.
so for day one, we have the Dunis worship, we have Life Church, we have
Mr.
Alex on steel
We
pan.
see some of that on screen right now.
Yes.
There actually.
Yes.
Okay.
We have
Park of
Kings
Life
Park
Church.
Nazarene Church, we have Life Church, we have the Heavenlies who just had
The
a
return.
huge Jesus concert, you know.
That was big.
Yes.
That was
city.
nice.
And of course, we have Award Christian Reggae group, Christafari, for
Yes.
day one. And then day two, our international artist, is the return of Sinach.
Excellent.
Well, this is exciting, guys. It's always a pleasure having you guys here with us, just highlighting, some of the many projects that come out of the Belize City Council that just aims to give back. I'm always amazed the way that you guys pull these off.
Leaving no one out, community engagement.
Yeah, I'm always amazed, truly. And so we continue to support initiatives like this. We're excited about Holy Week, and we invite you guys to come out and bash for Jesus, guys. Come on.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
ladies, we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, we take one more break, but don't go anywhere when we come back. Smitty's will be in the house, and they'll be talking about the expansion of their business with refreshing new treats.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares, people who listen, people who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
What happens when you step off the edge?
Too late to back out now. He said I'm ready. No, I'm not.
And land somewhere unexpected. Sometimes it breaks you open. Wild at root,
That is very bitter.
but sweet on the tongue. Where history calls out, and you answer with open arms. This isn't just a journey, it's across borders.
That was amazing!
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
When the job demands more, Milwaukee Power Tools are designed to handle the toughest jobs on the construction site. If it's speed, durability, and performance you need, Milwaukee is the perfect choice. For unstoppable power at an unbeatable price, make it Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
GBM is turning the spotlight home. All Belizean, all day, every day. We're bringing to you more local and regional programs than ever before. Relive the classics you love. Plus, enjoy brand new stories that celebrates who we are, our people, our pride, our Belize. So whether you're at home, in the office, or on the go, keep GBM on, because now more than ever, Belize is on TV.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our final conversation for this morning, and it's all about Smitty's Natural Blend. We have joining us on set Mr. Lindbergh Smith, and he's the owner of Smitty's Natural Blend. Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, man.
Welcome back.
It's a pleasure having you. We've been on this journey with you. I think in the early phases, you came on the morning show. We talked a bit about your offerings, and now you're here today to help us get familiar with a new offering.
Yeah, your
relatively
expansion.
new.
Yeah, new.
Yeah, new. You said that you began works in December for this?
Yeah, for the new one, yes. We launched it in 2025.
In 2025?
Yeah, so like I would say about mid-December, or just after about the mid-December, based on my observations alone, it wasn't a research thing this time, where you notice children always picking up sweets, chips, and so on. So I thought to play with psychology a little and say, you know what, let's do a natural paletas. And it was something I did a soft launch. Nothing big, nothing to really talk about. And I thought it was for a school thing. And it took off like wildfire. Yes. Adults just jumped on the bandwagon, and paletas just went crazy. And selling out every unit, just men were getting rid of those. And one of the beauty about it is that those paletas are sugar-free.
Really?
Yeah, we use just organic honey as a sweetener for some.
You brought some on display this morning. I have here with me tamarind, what we call tamarind. I just made a steel tamarind off of trees this weekend while I got walk. And then there's another flavor, passion fruit as well. And so you said that you started with kind of like this reverse psychology for kids to eat, have their snacks healthier.
Correct.
But it kind of picked up for adults as well.
It is.
You fool everybody, Mr. Smith. And you'll get everybody to start eat healthier or drink healthier options.
And that's the purpose. That's the purpose. Because you notice, we love to snack on things.
Yeah.
We love to have something to snack on. And so part of the idea was, how could we provide something where you're not being, we're not being felt cheated.
Yeah. Kind of like that guilt behind the snack. So can we try these this morning?
Of course, that's for you.
Are you on a chance?
Yeah, because they're melting. I don't want to
as a parent with a 1-year-old, I will quickly draw for something like this versus like an ice cream with chocolate sort of paletas.
Well, that was the intent, because when you look at all the paletas and the ice cream, there are so many flavors and high cream and different things, but those are potent, those are really strong
wow.
fruit.
The passion fruit.
It's our brand.
Right.
I love it. It's really good. Paul, are you okay? No. What? Oh my God, it's so good.
You can't see, and you're not getting the fruit, right?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm eating a passion fruit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Now, you
and you can tell from it the water content is little to nothing.
yeah, look at that. You can see it at the bottom.
You're getting all the real
Without
fruit right there.
without giving away your secrets, like what's the process to making something like this?
Well, it's basically taking the same high quality juices, very, very slight modification. And then we get our food grade commercial molds and simply start to freeze. That's simply what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's not much, it's not a heavy differentiation from the juices. You taste the juice and you taste the paletas, it's synonymous. It's synonymous.
It's just the magic of marketing.
That's simply
People
what-
really
yeah.
just want to have options and they want consistency as well.
Correct.
We continue to be so proud of your journey though, Mr. Smith, because as Paul mentioned earlier, it kind of feels like we have grown with you on this journey. I remember when you spoke about your backstory of really just diving into something that you weren't completely sure if it would be this successful. And now just moments ago, you were telling us of ways that your business is potentially going to expand as well.
Yep.
What can you share with us in terms of some of the new expansions or projects and even collaborations that you have journeyed on or you're on to journey on?
Well, what we're currently working on, and in fact, the building was complete, but we're simply relocating at this point. So we are getting our plant, juice plant, where we want to move away from the kitchen now.
Wow.
So I am saying if all goes well before the end of this year, we should be in a fully operational juice plant.
Wow.
Where that's strictly for juicing, all the nice finishings that you will have, and there will be nothing but simply operational happening there with our freezers and everything. So we have really outgrown the kitchen.
Yeah.
The demand is continuously increasing. And in fact, we were just in Spanish Lookout. We were just at the Industrial Expo in Spanish Lookout. And trust me, that experience was off the hook.
Tell me a little bit about behind the scenes. Have your team grown? Because I remember when this was just a one-man operation.
Well, we have slightly, not much. We have added one more person now to the production line. Machinery. So we have started to do a lot of invest in our commercial machines and processors, extractors, and those make life so easy. So for me alone, I could simply produce maybe 100, 200 pounds of carrots in a little less than an hour.
Wow.
That's just quick.
With the machine.
With the machine.
I love that too.
So first that used to take us a long time.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more manual.
Yeah.
Now we simply just wash, process, and let's go. And those commercial, they do it just exactly the way I want it.
Wow.
And so we have invested quite a lot in machinery. And why we have done that is because we realize it helps to cut costs with respect to providing salaries at the moment, so we can grow more, invest more.
And it's smart.
Right.
It's smart.
It invests more. So that's what we haven't done. And we have, beside the paletas, what we have also launched, which I wanted to display this morning so badly, was our, we now have our slushes.
Yes.
So
it's in a bag?
No. It comes in a nice color-changing tumbler with a straw and everything, but you can only get that now at expos, trade shows, and so on. So that's something we feature. We did it at the Spanish Lookout Expo, trust me, and all gone.
Wow.
We had a little too little.
What about these smaller bottles?
Well, if you notice, there was a pouch showing on the screen just now.
What's that pouch?
That's the same juices, but what we decided to do was just basically looking at the dynamics of the country and the economics, taking the economics into factor, was coming up with varied sizes that could meet every pocket. Because these pouches here, we have them in the 5 ounce and the 3.5 ounces, which goes for $1.50.
Oh, wow.
So you're getting $1 juice already for $1.50 more and getting
So it's really just
oil.
packaging.
It's just simply packaging.
So you can afford to enjoy these healthier options that, in most cases are a bit pricier.
Yeah.
You change the packaging so everyone has the opportunity to purchase them.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing. And this is one of the bottles that we also came up with, which is, this is just an 8 ounce bottle. We do this for schools specifically.
Okay.
And these are like retail at $2.
Okay.
So
Have schools really bought into this though?
We have a few schools that we have worked with. Yes, I think it's a slow process. And I think it has to do with our mindset too as well, because healthy is something we talk about all the time.
Yes.
But actually picking up that lifestyle is a different story, you know. So while we have worked with several schools, we want to work with more schools, and we want to even go bigger with these schools and provide more. And one of the things behind the scenes that I want to do with these juices is not just provide them to the schools, but I want to also collect the data. How have students' health improved? What, you know, the energy level, you know, and when you eat a lot of these sweets, you get so hyper too, you know. So we want to get a natural hype, you know. So that's one of the things I want to collect, you know, catching cold. I can't tell you the last time I've catch a cold. I can't. And all I have done is just simple Smitty's juices. So because I do juices, I buy less juices now.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned some of the flavors as well. Now, these kids, they're not just going to get those artificial citrusy juices with a lot of food colorings. Tell us about just that bottle that you picked up. That's for kids,
yes.
right? What's that flavor?
We provide at least nine different flavors to kids.
Okay.
But this specific flavor we have here is an orange pineapple.
Okay, orange pineapple.
And that is super tasty, super tasty. It's having two very tasty fruit infused together, and it creates such an interesting blend.
You also have different other options that are specific for certain things if you'd want as well. I think you have a beet one in the middle that you said, or you know, some other options that's for like inflammation even. Can you talk about some of those other flavors?
Yeah, for example, this beet alone, this is an all-arounder, you know.
Okay.
This is something I push a lot for people who are going to gyms, people who are like athletes, cyclists, runners, or so on. And I have a customer in Belmopan who used this beet specifically. He's a runner. He does a lot of running and exercise and so on. And he noticed that this beet does a lot for him. Wow. This is a natural dope. That is full of nitrate, will push energy and oxygen too.
Through your blood, right?
Right,
yeah,
correct.
Which is important for running.
Which is important. So that is something, this is also a blend to help with your liver, your kidney, you know, detoxify a little bit. It's a blood builder, it cleanses the blood. So that's something you can't go wrong. But for those healthy goers and really who into that gym and cycling and so on, that's something to go to.
All right, so
we also have the green line too that we have launched. Green line? Yeah, which is the full green juices where you take your kale, your spinach, your celery, the full work.
People really bought into that?
Yes, because the way I do it, it tastes, it's so
tastes bitter.
Oh, no, not at all. No, not at all. When you taste my green juices, like, this is really everything in it. You're surprised.
You trick people for eating their greens, but it's good because there are ways that you can enjoy it, you know, and that's excellent.
And one of the interesting things with the green line too, you know, green juice is a little bit more pricey given all that you put in it. But we decided to do the paletas as well, the green paletas. So that's while that juice might cost you $5-6, the paletas just cost you $3.
Listen, I could see myself out for Easter, either on the beach or
that's the green one right
at
there.
the river, and I pull out one green paletas or one of these fruit paletas in the heat of the sun. Just here, this is so refreshing. So I can imagine out there when it's hot and you need something to refresh you. And it's so delicious. You have to kind of restrain yourself from eating it.
Oh, yes,
I know.
It's amazing. You're doing a really good thing here, Mr.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Smith.
Now, for businesses who would like to buy into this, you mentioned that you can gather some of these products at specific locations. I know there's an appeal for schools to also get on board as well.
Yeah.
How can they reach out to you? What are the conversations or questions that they need to ask to get Smitty's at their location?
Well, they simply need to they can find us on our Facebook page, Smitty's Natural Blend. I always tell people, once you see this logo or this guy facing it, you know, you can't miss that, you know. So reach out to us, or you can reach us at 615-1522. Simply send us a WhatsApp. You don't have to call. We respond back within less than 5 minutes. The only time we take longer than 5 minutes if we're in the processing room. We don't touch the phones and nothing else because we're geared up. So after that, we respond. But normally, we respond within 5 or less.
All right.
And trust me, we have different sizes. So what we try to do is to accommodate. And we're not just here to sell, we also do the follow-up to as well. How is sales going? What is the catch? Because, you know, different, I noticed, for example, down south versus Belmopan or Belize, the flavor is different. You know, down south goes for like the beets, the cucumbers, and the carrots, and so on, all those interesting blends. And then Belize would more do an orange or a pineapple or a watermelon, you know. Yeah. So I have gathered all those data too. So, you know, because while watermelon and orange remain a high sell for me, but when you go different districts, you realize certain things start to take the lead too, you know. And all these juices, man, we over time, coming back from our customers again, they have loved the consistency. And at no point in time you can get a Smitty's and say it does not taste like last week or last month or so on. So the consistency just got better.
Very important.
You know, and because I'm at this every day, because we're producing week in, week out, we just start to perfect the recipe even better. So the more you're drinking Smitty's,
the better it gets.
The better it gets, and that's one of the catch to it.
Awesome.
You know?
All right, well, we are out of time, Mr. Smith, but we want to thank you so much for sharing this exciting development with us. I mean, verbally and literally. We've almost finished these paletas, but thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and we wish you continued success, you and your family, in this venture.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to wrap things up at this time. It's been a fun morning with you guys as well. We want to say a huge thank you to everyone who joined us, you guys for locking in and commenting as well. We appreciate you. It is March 24th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@greaterbelize.com.
You can also catch us live on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram for all the behind the scenes content at OYE Belize. We even have TikTok. TikTok is openyoureyes.bz.
And you can call us or text us on our OYE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.